Things are moving so fast these days, especially in the business world. It can feel like every time you turn around, there's some new technology or trend you need to wrap your head around.
It's true, and it can be overwhelming trying to keep up.
Exactly. So, in today's deep dive, we're going to tackle a big one: artificial intelligence.
Specifically, how it's changing the game when it comes to promoting a business and reaching the right customers.
Right, and we're going beyond just the AI-powered ads we see everywhere, although we'll definitely get into that. We're really interested in the strategic side of things. And we've got some really fascinating material from a company called Haptic to guide us.
And what's really interesting about Haptic is they're not just another tech company offering some AI solution. They seem to be positioning themselves as this bridge between, say, the research labs developing cutting-edge AI and those businesses who might not even know where to begin.
Okay, I like that. They're like the translators between the tech world and the rest of us, so they're helping companies actually use this stuff effectively, which, let's be honest, can be the hardest part.
Definitely. And one of the first things that jumped out at me from their material was this idea of a shift away from traditional search engines, like relying solely on Google to connect with potential customers.
Right, like that's how we've always done it, but
It's starting to feel a bit, I don't know, old school. I mean, think about it. We even see the limitations in our own lives. How many times do you find yourself on page 3 of Google still not finding what you need?
oh, all the time. It's the worst. And I'm sure for businesses, it's even worse when you think about all the wasted time and money trying to stand out in those search results.
Exactly. And Haptic argues that AI-powered chatbots are the solution, which I have to say is pretty intriguing.
Okay, chatbots. So not the ones that give you those canned responses that make you want to scream, right? Because I feel like we've all been there.
Right, definitely not those. We're talking about a whole new breed of chatbots powered by sophisticated AI that can actually understand and respond to complex queries in a way that feels much more natural, more human even.
So it's less about just keywords and more about actual conversation.
Exactly. These chatbots are using natural language processing, machine learning, all that good stuff to understand what a user is actually asking, what their intent is, and then they tailor their response to fit that need.
Okay, so it's like having a real conversation with someone who actually knows what they're talking about.
Yes, and is available 24/7, speaks multiple languages, and doesn't require a salary and benefits package.
Right, which for businesses, especially smaller ones, that's a huge deal.
Absolutely. It's like having a global team of experts at your fingertips without the overhead. And it's not just about answering questions either. Haptic talks about using these AI chatbots to personalize the entire customer journey from the moment they first interact with your brand all the way through to after-sales support.
And that level of personalization has always been the holy grail, right? But it seems like AI is finally making it possible in a way that actually feels, I don't know, doable for businesses of all sizes.
It is. And the more data these chatbots have access to, the better they become at understanding individual customer needs and preferences.
This is where it gets really interesting for me because Haptic's article doesn't stop at just the chatbot thing. It's like they're saying, okay, you've got this amazing AI tool, but now what? And they really get into this whole idea of thought leadership, which I'm really curious to unpack.
Well, think about it. In a world that's completely saturated with ads and content, just having a flashy website or some clever marketing campaign, it's not enough anymore.
Right, everyone's seen it all.
Exactly. So Haptic is saying businesses really need to establish themselves as these trusted sources of information within their industries.
Okay, so it's less about selling and more about educating. Is that what thought leadership is all about?
In a nutshell, yeah. Think about the last time you made a big purchase. Like, did you just buy the first thing you saw advertised?
No way. I'm a total research queen, especially if it's something important. I'm reading reviews, looking for expert opinions, the whole 9 yards.
Exactly. And that's what Haptic is tapping into. When businesses consistently create and share really high-quality content articles, white papers, webinars, they're demonstrating expertise. They're building credibility.
So it's like the more you share your knowledge, the more people see you as the expert.
And they trust you. They're more likely to do business with someone they see as knowledgeable and reliable.
It's like that saying, people buy from people they like.
Exactly. But it goes beyond just liking. It's about trust and respect.
Okay, I'm with you. So how does this whole thought leadership thing actually work with these AI tools we were talking about? Because it seems like we're talking about two very different things.
Not at all. Imagine this. A potential customer stumbles upon your website, they've got a question, so they start interacting with your chatbot. But this isn't just any chatbot. It's been trained on tons of data industry trends, your company's unique expertise, everything.
So it's got the brains.
Right. So not only can it answer their initial question, but it can also point them to relevant blog posts, white papers, maybe even invite them to an upcoming webinar your company's hosting.
It's like this personalized content concierge.
I like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So as they engage with more of your content, they get a better understanding of what you bring to the table. That trust just keeps building and building.
Which feels like a much more authentic way to connect with customers than, say, hitting them with a bunch of ads.
100%. It's about building relationships, showing genuine value and expertise. And in a world where everyone's vying for attention, that's becoming more important than ever.
No doubt. So where does Haptic fit into all of this? Are they the ones creating this content for businesses, or are they more like consultants? How does that work?
Well, they position themselves as the architects of the whole thing. They help you figure out how to use all these AI tools effectively and how to create this whole thought leadership strategy.
So they're like the guides for businesses trying to navigate this whole new world of AI.
Precisely. And one thing that really stood out to me on their website is how they connect businesses with cutting-edge research labs and universities doing fascinating work with AI.
Oh, interesting. So they're not just talking the talk. They're walking the walk, actually making those connections happen.
Exactly. They're bridging the gap between these incredible advancements in AI and the businesses that can benefit from them, but in a way that feels very grounded. Less about the hype and more about, okay, how do we make this stuff actually work?
That's smart. So they're not just throwing you in the deep end with all this technology. They're saying, we're here to help you navigate this.
Right. And get this, they even help businesses navigate funding opportunities, which we all know can be a huge hurdle.
Okay, so they're going above and beyond just, here's the tech, good luck. They're really trying to set businesses up for success.
That's what it seems like. They're providing that holistic support, which I think is why their perspective is so valuable right now.
It's almost like they're saying, we get it, this AI stuff can feel like a lot, but we're here to help you make sense of it all. Which, honestly, I think we can all relate to, because this whole conversation has given me a lot to think about.
Yeah, it really does feel like every day there's some new AI development that could completely change how we do, well, everything.
And for those of us who feel like we're just trying to keep up, Haptic's approach is kind of refreshing, They're not just throwing technology at the problem, they're giving you a roadmap and the resources to actually navigate this new world.
Exactly. And that's what makes their perspective so interesting, I think. It's not just about the what of AI, it's the how and the why, too. And that's what builds trust and understanding.
And at the end of the day, isn't that what matters most? Building those real connections with your audience, becoming a source they can trust, especially as things get more complex.
Absolutely. It's funny, in a way, it feels like we're circling back to the basics of good business, providing value, building relationships, creating a community around your brand, but with this whole new technological edge.
Well said. Haptic is on to something, that's for sure. They're not just riding the AI wave, they're helping businesses actually chart a course to success in this wild new world.
Definitely a message worth paying attention to.
It really is. And on that note, we'll leave you to explore Haptic's insights a bit further on your own. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into AI and how it's changing the game for businesses. Until next time, keep those minds curious, and we'll see you out there on the cutting edge.